Hey, hey, hey. You're so sweet to get on. Thank you. Excuse me. Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Welcome to December Book Club. We usually do it on the first, but I figured just with all the holiday things, a couple extra days were warranted. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, hi, hi. You're the sweetest. I've been very excited to connect with everybody about December's book, Underground Railroad. It was gruesome. I talked to a couple people in comments and things because I had heard about it on a podcast. Originally, I think the first book I read, I know the first book I read by this author was Nickel Boys, which I enjoyed. There was so much hype around it, but I mean, it's not a feel good read. And then was listening to someone talk about Nickel Boys on a podcast and referred to this author's first book, Underground Railroad, which apparently is like his most critically acclaimed, et cetera, et cetera. And so picked this one to read in December. Apparently, it's an Amazon series. Oh, I enjoyed it, but man alive, it was gruesome. If y'all read it, let me know what you think because it was the violence depicted was certainly nothing you could quickly turn away from. And I'm all out of sorts because I'm not in my office anymore. Like my office has moved locations, so I'm usually like holed away, my little cave. But I feel much more like the up in the exposed in the larger part of my home. So things look different. It's just me. I'm just in a new location. So let me know if you read Underground Railroad. I thought it was going to be a harder read, like as an audience member to get through, but I enjoyed it so much that had a hard time turning away from it. And someone had commented on like when I announced that this would be the pick for December. And I don't remember who it was, but someone commented that she didn't enjoy the book because she thought the way that the railroad was depicted um, was disrespectful to the historical events that surround the real Underground Railroad. And I'm probably doing her comment a disservice that I'm probably misquoting it. I'm just remembering the vibe of the comment, and that's what I took from it. But I disagree. Disagree. I thought sorry, spoilers for those who haven't read it. But in Whitehead's depiction of the Underground Railroad is a legitimate railroad underground. um, and I thought that using that piece of magical realism um, actually just emphasized the parts of the story that were true all the more. My year, okay, that's been on my list. Do you recommend My Year of Rest and Relaxation? Because it's one of those that I put on my list when I heard about it, and then I haven't been inspired enough to go back and jump into it. So let me know. I started the year with the Happiness Project 2 years ago, and I liked that one a lot. It had some. Dr. Marie is here, my friend. Hey, Mama. I started the Happiness Project as a January read and very much enjoyed it. But My Year of Rest and Relaxation, my friend. So yeah, let me know if you recommend it. Okay, please comment back and let me know when you get into it if it's worth the read because the idea of it is so cool. So I'd be very interested in that. But I recently finished Harlem Shuffle, which is Whitehead's most recent novel. It was a book of the month pick. My memory is trash. I think it was in October that this was picked. Um, Not this one. Sorry. The Harlem Shuffle was a book of the month October picked by the same author. I didn't like it. And it's like one of those that's all the craze now and like it's such a big deal. That's my husband. And I didn't enjoy it. And I think this author has so much notoriety and I have so much respect for thank you. My sister got it for me. House Slytherin. Um, I have so much respect for the author, but I kind of thought the Harlem Shuffle like just wasn't for me. So if you read it and loved it, I would love to know why. Harlem Shuffle by Whitehead is the one I'm currently rambling on about nonsensically. But December, I had picked the Underground Railroad to dive into, which I really, 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 really liked, like a lot. It was, it's not an easy read. It is chilling. The violence described in it will stick with you in a way that you just like cannot look away from. It's like the most gruesome episode of television where like you're just kind of in it until the end. Um, so know that going into it, but it's one of my favorite book club books we read as a group. Not, no, I would say it is magical realism. And someone had commented this on one of my videos before I started reading it. So, Dr. Marie, I don't think I'm giving too much away by saying this, but everything is, I would imagine, based pretty soundly in actual history, except that the Underground Railroad depicted in this book is legitimately like a railroad underground with a train and everything. I loved it. I thought it was such a great way to. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by the vibe I'm trying to curate. That is, anyway, um, the magical realism element of having like a legit railroad underground. I just think it emphasized more the horrors that people were running away from. Like that was an interesting element, sure, but I didn't think it was like disrespectful to what really happened in the Underground Railroad. I just instead thought that because there was a railroad that quickly took people away, we were just able to focus more on why they needed to get away to begin with. Yay, okay. Yay, yay, yay. Did you start the book and ditch? I'd be interested to know because, honest to goodness, Harlem Shuffle, also by this author, his most recent work, it's something that I've seen a lot on like Book Talk and Bookstagram, and like it's a big deal, and it should be because this author is really incredible. Like the Nickel Boys was a, um, I felt was oh, how do I want to say this respectfully? I never lost myself in Nickel Boys. I was never super excited to get back to it, but when you're in it, you can appreciate like the writing prowess that this author had. So then diving into Underground Railroad, like sincerely just being lost in the story that he un- laid out for us was also such a treat. And then Harlem Shuffle, I just like could not get into. I agree. Historical fiction can be so magical. If you have a favorite historical fiction novel, I'd love to know. I'm trying to think of some of mine. I I don't see this is the part where my pregnancy makes me appear like I'm wine drunk and it's just pregnancy brain. But there was like this series in elementary school where it was like books that would just like do a deep dive into people's experiences in like the early Americas and et cetera, and just like loved those so much. Okay, I've heard Hamnet a lot recently. I need to That's a book, right? Am I being obtuse? Hamnet? Is that a book? Because I've seen it and people have commented on it. But is it slang? What is it? I'm also incredibly obsessed with Kristen Hanna. The Nightingale is one of the thank you. Okay, Hamnet. Okay. I'm gonna write it down because people have I've seen that a couple places. Um The Nightingale is one of the few books from Kristen that's a Kristen Hanna one where I sobbed. I just sobbed. Ugh, powerfully told. Kate Quinn. Yes, the Alice Network is definitely my favorite of hers. Rose Code was also enjoyable. What is her other one? I read a third. It's not sticking out to me. Rose Code was the female pilots. Wait a minute. Now my brain's broken. Four Winds was incredible. I think that I walked away not appreciating Four Winds as much as I would have if I'd gone in with different expectations, because Great Alone blew my mind so much that I was really unfair to Four Winds. Huntress, thank you. Oh, that was going to bother me all night. Huntress was also a great read, but Alice Network by far is my favorite. Yeah, I just could not look away. Like Rose Code, yes, yes, the Cipher Breakers, which was so interesting. But then when it would dip into like the pilots, I would lose interest because I thought the cipher part was so much. No, wait, it's Huntress. Oh no, Rose Code is the one with the pilots and the Cipher Breakers, right? And then Huntress. Is Huntress the one with the female? I'm getting them all. I'm all confused now. They're all great. Alice Network is one where I will forever remember like where I was when I was reading it, because it was such a powerful read. And it was one of Reese Witherspoon's like first book club picks. It was like that and Big Little Lies. She started so strong, and now I feel like really excited when I stumble upon a Reese Witherspoon book that like I can't put down, because so many of them are hit or miss with me. The Flight Girls? No, adding it to my list. Thank you. I've stumbled upon a couple wrecks lately. I think I've read like 3 books about female Mr. Storytime. He's making dinner because I'm so spoiled. If I could recommend one book for you to read this year, what would it be? Okay. Is your vibe like you need warm and cozy, or like you like some darkness? Do, do you prefer puzzles? Give me like 3 fun facts about yourself. I would love to provide a rec. My sister got this for me. She got it. It's so comfortable. I can't. It's like legit like Hogwarts on the tag. Um, Memoirs, yes, and I did a video about this, because please forgive me, my pregnancy brain is out of control. But I did a video about memoirs, and so many people in the comments had great recs too. Um, Raising a Rare Girl changed my life. Um, and I think even as a non-parent, there's like so much value in it. Other memoirs, Glass Castle is like forever one of my favorites. Have you read that one? Sentimental Love of a Mystery. Okay. But I don't want to recommend anything too dark. Sentimental. Okay. I left my book notes upstairs because I'm a fool. If I had to recommend one book, you might have. Did you do Four Winds? That might be a good call for you. Educated. Oh, that was so good. Um, and so many people commented things in the memoir video that I was like, yes, why didn't I think of that? Because I didn't think I'd read any memoirs. I wouldn't call Untamed a memoir, but that's incredible. Um, memoirs, memoirs, memoirs. Yeah, Raising a Rare Girl, I would highly recommend. The woman, I think her name's Heather, but the author's last name for sure is Lanier, Lanier. She did a TED Talk. So watch her TED Talk, and if it intrigues you at all, I would highly recommend her book. All right, someone else. Did you comment this earlier, A Little Life, or was it someone else? Because someone else asked me today if I'd read A Little Life. Yeah, I'm sorry to not be more helpful. My brain is broken. Hey, SG. The commissioner is here. Okay, then it must have been someone else. A Little Life. Okay, I'm a baby. So good thrillers to me mean something very different than they mean to other people. There was one book I read in 2019, and if you want, comment on any video after this and I can pull it for you. It was so dark. I didn't sleep for like a week or two. It was the most violent thing I've ever consumed, and I still think about it once every 6 weeks. So I wouldn't recommend. So it's like you're into like super gruesome, I can pull that title for you. But in terms of like just a good thriller, I really like Sanatorium. I know a lot of people don't like it. I'm a big Ruth Ware fan. I think One by One was my favorite by her. I'm a bookmark gal. Verity. Read Verity. That is the best thriller I read last year, and it is so divisive. People come at me about Verity that they hate it. But like the people who love it, we love it. We love it. I haven't read Behind Her Eyes, but I read another book by that same author, Sarah Penborough or whatever, and she was excellent. No Exit. Okay, writing now. I think I read an Alice Finney. What else did she do? That sounds so familiar. Oh, this is so much easier when my brain is functioning at full capacity. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. No Exit. Alice Finney is sounding so familiar. I just started Flicker in the Dark as well. I'm 50 pages into that one. So far, it's pretty gruesome. No Exit, no Exit. Okay, I wrote No Exit down. Because of it. See, Verity is so divisive. People really like, when they hated it, they hated it. So interesting. I could not put it down. We were trying to do our tax. Well, yeah, we were trying to do our taxes, and I just stopped listening completely because I was halfway through Verity, and I was like, I'll see you tomorrow. Rock, paper, scissors. Thank you. I haven't read it, but yeah, her name sounded familiar. Mm-mm. Okay, I'm telling you, there are two camps with Verity. You love it and you can't put it down, or you hate it and you get mad every time I mention it. Not that anyone here did that, but like anytime I mention Verity in a video, scary. I know, Mr. Storytime is the best. He's the reason I can read so many books because he cooks all my meals. Otherwise, I'd be in there doing that right now. Mmm, what an excellent question. Any book that you felt you read at the perfect time of your life? Oh, I almost wish Untamed I had read 2 months later because I started it in February 2020 and I felt like it would have been really great into the pandemic. Um, that was a good one. Local Woman Missing. Y'all are asking so many great questions. I'm gonna have to make like videos on these. Sorry. I'm just picturing all the Mr. Storytime merch I need to wear just for myself around my home. You're the sweetest, Mr. Storytime. Tonight he's making some fancy sandwiches because he cooks all my meals. That's the answer to how do you read so many books in a year? Because someone in my home makes every single one of my meals. Merch. It's just gonna be Ryan's face, Mr. Storytime. Favorite book of all time? Oh my gosh. Ugh. A Traveler at the Gates of Wisdom by John Boyne. I have to do it. It was it's a masterclass in storytelling. It is the most impeccable journey through a narrative I've ever. It's incredible. A Traveler at the Gates of Wisdom by John Boyne would have to be my favorite ever. And then, yeah, that's my answer. That's my final answer. Great question. Ah, Mr. Storytime merge. Okay, I've never chatted with anyone else who read Milk Fed. I could not put it down. I just saw the cover and I was like, well, I have to get this. So let me know what you think about it. Don't start with Traveler if you've never read John Boyne before, because I feel like you have to love John Boyne to make it past page like 40 of Traveler. I started with Heart's Invisible Furies, which I loved. I thought it was incredible. A Ladder to the Sky is also exquisite. Be prepared that he doesn't care if his protagonists are heroes or good guys, and I think that throws a lot of people that like we're following pretty problematic humans through his stories. But I would still highly recommend. Authors who've never. A Little Hope is so beautifully human. So let me know. Authors who've never disappointed me. Unfortunately, it's not Leanne Moriarty. I love 80% of her work. And I've reread 80% of her work, but that 20, it'll get you. An author honestly, John Boyne has never disappointed me, especially his adult fiction. Okay. Well, this just brings us back to our friend John Boyne because he has so many YA novels and also adult books, but he's so dark. He's also, oh, he's tricky. So I feel like, let me know what genre you like as you leap from YA to adult. Okay. John Boyne and the JK thing, my friend Emily flagged that for me too because we were both really shooketh because so many of his protagonists are LGBTQ plus. So that was interesting. Facing the Mountain yet? No. Writing it down. I have my pen. Thank you. Facing the Mountain. No. I'm in the US. I'm in the South, but I'm from the South, but we don't live there anymore. What is Milk Fed about? Okay, so like, first of all, the cover is fantastic. And it's about like, I'm trying to remember because I read it last March and now my memory is crap. But it's like this woman who has a really, really problematic relationship with food and falls in love with a woman for the first time who like has has no qualms about food, and like she's navigating the relationship with that woman at the same time as she navigates her relationship with food. It's incredible. Nonfiction's fantastic. Have you read Patrick? Oh no, Patrick. Whoever wrote Empire of Pain, because I loved it so much, and everyone said Say Nothing is even better, and I can't wait to dive into it. I know. We're trying to get back to the Southeast. We love it. I'm not a true crime gal. Now, I know there are some friends in the chat who are. I think the most recent true crime thing I did was, y'all are just gonna have to forgive me for being along with the rambling that is my brain in this pregnancy. The woman, no, Patton Oswalt's late wife. What was that book she did? Like something in the dark. A shadow goes whispering in the shadow. I don't know. Whatever that was I think that was the last true crime book I read. It's been a minute. I am, oh God, 24 weeks. 24 weeks. So got a long way to go. And my first pregnancy was a dream. I had a little boy first, and thank you, Michelle McMahon. Yes. Y'all are coming through so much and I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This pregnancy's been a doozy, so I'll be gone in the dark. See, book people are the best people. We appreciate you. That one freaked me out. I think that's the last true crime I did. Marie, correct me if I'm wrong. Fiction? What about fiction? The best ones? I got all the fiction. I hop around in fiction quite a bit. I'm reading, I think I'm reading 7 books right now. Maybe that's why my memory's terrible, is because I'm using all my muscle memory on that. And to be honest, I had a January book picked for y'all. I don't think I want to do it. So I'll come back with a January pick. Live. 7. Hang on. I missed something. I love you. Sarah! You're here. Sarah! Thank you. Okay. I got lost in the chat. But just bookkeeping wise, I had a January book pick, but I'm not obsessed with it. So give me a minute. I have, okay. Oh, what should you read first? The Push or Betty? Both. Um, the Push is a faster read. The Betty you have to spend some time with. So if you're in the mood to like get lost in a book and lose yourself in a day and be done with it, the Push. If you want to really like immerse yourself, Betty. They're both fantastic. I'm so excited for both of you. For you that you get to read both of them for the first time. They're both incredible. I don't know if I didn't do like a pregnancy video. I just kind of like just started throwing it out. So I'm out there. You're welcome. Empire of Pain. I didn't think I would like it all because it was, I mean, a super dry topic, and investigative journalism usually isn't where I lose myself. But okay, here's the thing with Verity. You're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, and you're gonna be mad at me. Those are the only two camps. I loved it. Every time I mention it, people lose their minds. One book you wish you honestly, Betty. It's so good by Tiffany McDaniel. I read it December of 2020, and I think about it all the time. It's so good. I would also really love to read Pachinko again. My mom's reading it now, and I'm jealous. Same author of Free Food for Millionaires, which is also good, but Pachinko's better. Oh, bookshelf wise. So I don't really keep a lot of books on hand. I get 99% of the books I read from the library, and I'm spoiled. We have a wonderful library system, but of course I've like accumulated books, and people are kind enough to send me books now. And so we live in Utah, and every house in Utah comes with like a giant closet. Just you're supposed to store apparently like people store food in it and stuff like that. Um, we're not dry food people, so I keep all my books down there. It takes up like two, three shelves. I liked crawdads too. Some people got mad when I said that. People got real weird about me saying that the author's kind of problematic. Um, but I stand by that. People, the comment section is getting a little wild, but I appreciate the 99.9% of you who are so kind and so loving. And even if you disagree with me, you recognize that books serve different purposes for different people. That might be the differentiator. I'm a Georgia girl, so that might be it. That Southern folk like crawdads. Really get into reading. I think it was like 10, 11. I am from a family of readers. Grandma was a huge reader, always had a book. And then when I was at their house once when I was like 9 or 10, I had packed a couple like babysitters books or whatever, babysitters club books, and I read through them really fast. And she took me to Walmart and I got to pick whatever book I wanted. So I picked A Walk to Remember. And I remember thinking like, I think I'm a little young for this. And I loved it. I've just always been allowed to read whatever I wanted, and it made me feel like such a grown up from such an early age. So I kind of just got obsessed with it. Crawdads, I did love it. The author is problematic, but we do love crawdads. And I recently finished The Paper Palace, and I thought that was such a similar vibe. My husband does not read. He can read, but he does not. Um, and every once in a while, I'll get really excited about a book and be like, I'll get it from the library for you. I really think you would like it. And I have a like 50% success rate that he actually enjoys it. He's very musical. So that's how he decompresses. Um, so, and he cooks, which we all appreciate. I thought The Paper Palace was beautiful too. Very similar vibes. He can read. He's incredibly intelligent. We started dating, and my grandpa is a bestie, and he continues to give my husband like an incredibly hard time. And we had just started dating, and my grandpa was like, "This will never work if he does not read." I was like, "Well, someone's got to feed us." Okay, he will do audiobooks. He travels for work, and when he has to do car rides instead of planes, he will do audiobooks. I cannot do audiobooks. I mostly read sitting beside my son 2 or 3 pages at a time before he throws something. I don't like the Buffalo Bills. But do I have Buffalo Bill regalia? Girl with the red balloon. I've never heard of it. Hmm. And because I think because my husband's so musical, like audiobooks stick with him. But I'm a visual learner. Things I listen to just I'm a Slytherin. I'm flattered. Do you think I'm a Ravenclaw though? I know I can't read in the car. I can't listen to things. I can do podcasts, but even then, like more episodic than serialized. I have a hard time like committing to anything that's more than an episode long. oh my my current purse, yeah, I can fit like 3 or 4 books. Because I never know what vibe I'm gonna be in. You never know. Um, I don't know. My husband just kind of describes it as when most people pick up their phone to scroll. I'm usually just reading, which is fair. Okay, maybe if you're musically minded. I know Steven's musically minded. My friend Steven was on here. I wonder if he likes audiobooks too. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, for me, it's Death by a Thousand Paper Cuts. It's how I read so much. It's just like 10 pages here, 5 pages here. Um, in the bathtub. Yeah, I'm spending a lot of time in the bathtub because this infant I'm growing is in uncomfortable place. So a lot of reading in the bathtub these days. Um, I find with reading multiple books at a time that shaking up the genres does help. I do better when I'm reading like a thriller, a romance, a nonfiction, um, kind of spread across the board. Um, but I think I didn't start reading multiple books at a time until college. Um, I studied English literature. The only thing I'm qualified to do is read books and talk about my feelings because that's all we did. And so by senior year, you're taking like 5 or 6 literature classes, and you have to read a book a week in each one. So I just got good at organizing it. Okay, let me know what you think about Milk Fed because I think I'm the only human I know who has read it. And honestly, the cover just sold me, and then I got lost in it. I couldn't put it down. And what I found when I was doing my like top books of 2020, I may have to switch to my pregnancy ball in a minute. Y'all won't judge. Um, that most of them are pretty dark. I tend to trend dark for the books that I just like get lost in. I thought The Giver of Stars was beautiful. Someone came at me because apparently they claimed that she plagiarized that book or the idea of that book, and that the original book was The Book Woman of Troublesome Creek. I've read both, The Giver of Stars. They're very, very different. And I thought The Giver of Stars was far superior. Please let me know what you think about Milk Fed. Sincerely, I would love to know because I don't know if I know anyone else who's read it. Love Evelyn Hugo. Love. I read it for the first time. My son was still really little, and my husband had already moved out west, and we were in 2 different states. So I was like doing all the things, and I could not go to sleep because Evelyn Hugo kept keeping me up. Ladder to the Sky is incredible. Anyone who loves Heart's Invisible Furies, highly recommend Ladder to the Sky. I've only read one in Patchett. I think I need to get into her more because people like really love her a lot. I'm gonna switch to my pregnancy ball and bounce while I talk to y'all. If you won't judge, I'm telling you, this is rough. Oh yay! I'm so excited for you, Heart's Invisible Furies. Now I will say I reread it. The first reading with that one is the strongest. Um, I just enjoyed. There's some books that like you read the second time and it's almost better the second time because you pick up on all the little clues that you know are going to get you to the resolution. Hearts of Invisible Furies was not that way. Okay, good to know. I'll stick with her non. I think I've read one. Did she write Commonwealth with the oranges on the cover? I think I read that a couple years back. And I'm trying to pick what I want to read alongside y'all in January. I'm not sold on the book I picked. I'll be back later this week. I'll let you know. Have you commented this because I think I recognize your profile pic alongside the question of a Boyne-esque writer. Boyne-esque. Okay, I'm gonna think on it. Yeah, yeah, I recognize you. Okay, I'm gonna think on it. I'm writing it down. I'm not gonna forget. Boyne-esque writer. I want to go through some of my older notes on books I've read. He's so unique. I think we do too. And you're about to start A Traveler at the Gates of Wisdom, or you haven't? I really, as a Boyne fan, one to another, I can't wait to hear what you think. It is, I mean, I think it should be just studied as like the most I don't know, exquisite way to just grab a reader by the collar and okay, you started it? Yeah. I'm excited for you. It's weird. And it took me about 20 pages in to understand the pattern of what he was doing because it's incredibly unique and very distinct. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. Okay, and then I'm going to be thinking Boy Ness because, yeah, he's incredible. Problematic in his defense of our friend JK, not our friend, just his defense of JK was startling. Did not like that. But Hogwarts is a safe place for all. I'm going by what the actors say on that. So yes, my goodness, friends. Um, we didn't talk about the book at all, and that was so fun. Like y'all had such great questions and such interesting questions, and book people are sincerely the best people. Huh. All the light we cannot see. Yeah, yeah. You're the most brilliant star in the sky, Marie Gallo. Yeah, I would say All the Light We Cannot See is very similar. Now, that author just came out with, I have it right here. The same guy who did All the Light We Cannot See did this one, which I haven't started yet, but I'm excited to. No, the Neapolitan novels. What are those? Okay, I think you would love All the Light. Yeah, great call, Marie. I'm not surprised. Not surprised in the slightest. I'm gonna come back with a pick for the January book because I'm not really excited about it, and I want to be so excited about the book we're reading together. Um, so I'll be back before the week's end, and maybe we'll just push when we chat about it because I like to give a full month. I think I read that. I think I read that. The Immortal. Oh, I'll have to look. Where the forest meets the stars. No. Oh. You can claim it. You commented. Um, no, I don't think I've read either of those. The Immortalists or okay. I'll look into them. And I'm so spoiled because my library system here is very robust. So um, I can pretty easily find books that are more than 6 months old, which is really nice. And I know not a given everywhere. When the library was shut down last year, before they did pick up because of the pandemic, oh, our budget took a hit. Okay, Where the Forest Meets the Stars. I got you. I got you. Thank you. Where the Forest Meets the Stars. Perfect. All right, y'all. Y'all are the best. I gotta go eat. I'm gonna get cranky. But I promise to be back with a January book pick, and let's party more often. I'll come back. I'll come back more often. I've been trying to do lives when I'm like scheduling my like reading and when I do like library hauls and stuff because I find them so intimidating. But then I get on them and y'all are so nice. Oh, Carson, I don't know what the January book club pick is. I picked a book. Okay, here's where I'm at. Because I'm really trying to be very mindful when I posted the top 10 books of 2021, and I really just went on gut and da 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 da. I can post on Instagram and y'all can vote. Absolutely. Um, I'll do that. I'll do that because I'm really when I pulled my top 10, I mean, if memory serves, there was like one author of color on there, which is not right. And I read last year was my most diverse year of reading to date, and there were so many books that I loved, and I just kind of want to just continue to diversify who I'm consuming stories from. So I'd received this book, Red Roulette, which is nonfiction, an insider story of wealth, power, corruption, and vengeance in today's China. So that's what I was thinking. But Karst, I think you're right. I think we should vote on what we're going to talk about on February 1st. So my Instagram is linked in my TikTok bio, and I'll post tonight what we should read, and y'all vote, and then we can figure, and then it's out of my hands, and then y'all pick, and then and I'll be along for the ride. So I appreciate y'all. Okay, I really do have to eat, but I really am so grateful for y'all. And so like this is so insane to me because I used to do, I think I started doing lives for book club. I don't know, in August. It was so scary. And people like said they would like show up and they did. And there was like six of us. And we like just kind of chatted back and forth. And now that there's like a couple dozen humans wanting to hang out, I just really, really, really appreciate you. And I don't take it for granted. I know there's a lot of noise on the internet and that you choose to spend time with me. It does not go unnoticed. I appreciate you. Let's vote on a book. Um, and now's the part where I try to turn this off and fail and just stare at y'all intently. Oh no, I can never figure it out. I'll be back soon. We'll chat soon. All right, y'all. Take care. Bye, y'all. Bye, bye, bye. Haven't figured it out. Oh, my age is showing. There's so, oh my. I'm pushing. I'm pushing buttons. Oh no. Oh no.